Good evening.
Hi Partha, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Hi, Partha. Good evening.
Evening. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. There was a slight technical problem at my end. Okay. So recording is in progress in case someone wants to see it later. So I will take you straight to our topic today. So what I will do is that I have written down the entire discussion in a notebook, and this notebook I will share with you at the end of the session so that you can go through it. It's and keep it. So I will do the complete discussion through the notebook. I hope that's okay, right?
Sure, Partha.
Okay. So here it is. Yeah. Okay. So let's start. So in natural language processing, we have a situation where we always start with some text. Now it can be anything. It can be a LLM or any other system you are making for uh, using any kind of text. The first thing what you have to do is that the text has to be converted into something which on which a model can be made. We know that, right? We cannot make a model based on textual content. The model can be only made based on something which is numeric. Now, so for this, when we get a text input, we have to do some pre-processing and make it into numeric. Now, while doing that, we take 3 steps basically. Um, we do tokenization, and then we do normalization, and then we do substitution. Now, tokenization, you people definitely know about it. It is a basic step. So it must be very common, and you must know a lot of things about it. Similarly, normalization are steps like we do we convert the text into lowercase, then we do lamentation, then we do stemming, and similar activities. We do these activities to do the normalization, basically reduce number of tokens which we have. And but have you heard that we have to do substitution as well? Do you have an idea that what happen when we do substitution as well? What's your thought?
Is this something like in the address we have ST, then that has to be substituted with street so that all the occurrences are treated the same?
You are right. You are right. So that is correct. That is where substitution comes in. There are many situations where we have to do a substitution basically because just like she gave an example, like ST is there, so it has to be converted into street. So how do we do that? Or eh, um, or say for example, the first case what we're going to discuss is contraction. Contractions are what? Contractions are things like in my text I have got things like isn't. So isn't, if I keep it and after and I tokenize it, so I will tokenize as isn't as one kind of token, and is as one token, not as one token. So there will be 3 different kind of tokens. Instead of that, I should not keep this. I should keep it. I should make it into is not, so that I am consistent that I will have only is and not as 2 tokens. And then if I apply things like stop word removal, then maybe is and not will go away and will not remain in my token set to be processed later on. So you get the idea. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us take the first case where of contraction. So now the main problem with text substitution is that there are very few libraries available for doing this, because this has been an area which has not been given too much attention by the programmers. So this remains area of huge amount of research. But anyway, for contraction, like I told you, contraction isn't, or I did, or I will, all these things. We have a library in Python called contractions. So this has to be installed separately. It is not readily available. So you got to install it. So once that is done, then I have taken some examples here. You can see that I am, won't, and all this kind of stuff. So if you apply this, contractions, which is very simple, which says contractions dot fix.
Partha, are you
Partha, are
sharing
you
your
sharing?
screen?
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sharing the screen now.
We are not able to see
No,
any.
we are not able to see your screen, Partha.
Okay, now?
Yes, now it is visible. Yeah.
Yeah, we can see now.
Okay, I'm sorry. So this is contractions. Okay, what I did was, you didn't miss much. I installed this library and then I'm using it. So these are all the different sentences which I gave it as an example. So I'm just running through this contractions, and you say contractions dot fix, and it will give the result. So let's see. So do you notice this?
It rephrases, it rephrases the same sentence in a more simple writing, maybe.
Yeah, it is what do you call replacing
Ah,
contraction with the expanded form.
right.
Okay, like this is they have. So it just made it they have. So you won't have this kind of tokens anymore. So after you run the contractions, if you do the next stage of normalization, then depending on your problem, you will maybe remove these words. They will not be uh, uh, required in your what do you call token set for analysis and things like that. It is possible, right? Now, see, in my stop word list, I would normally not have a stop word like uh, uh, what do you call this symbol, whatever it's called, D. I would not have that, but I would have I and would as a part of the stop word list. So this will get removed. Okay. So you want to try anything anything particular which you have in mind and see if it works, this library? Okay, not a problem. So this is number one. Second thing is that we have HTML, XML documents. We do a lot of data which comes in the form of HTML or XML. Now, especially if you are using semi-structured data, they will be in this form. Now here in this case, like you see this HTML. So the thing is that we have all these tags. These tags are hello?
विधान दीजिए दिल्ली के चैप्टर 3 पर आपका स्वागत है। आपसे निवेदन है द्वार खुलने के बाद विंडो शेड्स बंद कर दें और
Hello?
White noise, Partha.
Yeah. Okay, white noise. Okay, so we don't require these tags in our analysis. They will, like, supposing you're doing some something like, let's say, sentiment analysis or any application. So in that case, these tags will not be as useful for you because this is not going to serve you any purpose. So they have to be removed. Also, things like, especially for things like this, if I have a script, definitely I don't require not only the tags, I don't require the inside matter also in the scripts or forms. So all these things have to be removed. Now for this, what we or is more common thing is like, if I have such kind of things, space or greater than. Now these I have to convert it back into its original shape and then utilize. So for this, we have this library called Beautiful Soup. Now Beautiful Soup, I can utilize it to clean my HTML or XML. So XML also, like, we only require the inside data. I don't require all these things like script and all this kind of stuff. So if I apply Beautiful Soup and tell him a specific thing like HTML parser, and I say that remove these kind of things which is called script or style or form or meta and things like that. So this will do that in a single shot. So let me show you this example. So this was the original thing, and I get this. Okay. Now I can do further treatment on this. Supposing I don't really require these things, then I can take the next step where I can remove these also. Like I remove symbols. I'm sorry. So I can do that as well. Okay. So this is something which you need to do while you're doing text processing. Okay. Now, so far, you may be not seeing too much of a utility, but now let's see this case like we are making some scientific documents. Like, for example, we have this system called Einstein, which is utilized for physics learning. Like, we make our systems for teaching physics or doing physics related calculations, etc. in Einstein. Now here we have frequent situations where we have things like, sometimes we will say seconds as s like this, or sometimes we will say seconds as sec like this, or sometimes we will write second, or we will write seconds. So there are so many things which we do. That is one thing. So we do not want so many kind of representation of the same unit. So we need only one. So we have to collapse this, or we have to replace this. Or for example, in physics problems, I may write in my problem that the car was traveling at 5 kilometers per hour. Now, the thing is that if I have it like that, then it will be a problem basically, because I may have to express my answer in meter per seconds. Or it may be that I have to express in some other units. So what is required is that I have to collapse all of that into a single kind of unit. So say, for example, what do you call, I have given in my problem that I am traveling at a speed of 5 kilometers per hour, and tell me the acceleration. If I reach the location in so much amount of seconds, then you may it is better that you convert all of these into a single unit like meter per second. So depending on the problem, you will do that. Or even say, for example, the things like we write uh, uh, things like we write things like I am at 4,500 meter above the sea level, and actually what I'm trying to say is that I am at a certain height. So um, uh, instead of having all these expressions which where I'm expressing the same idea but using different kind of words, I have to collapse them back into a single word. So in this situation also, we require to do substitution. So here we use a library called pint. So I will show you the use of pint in this case. So here you have pint. So you take some examples which I've given. You can try your own examples also. The thing is that supposing we have all of these things in the physics problems, but we require to express these things as meter per second. So I've given you different combinations where it is 5 kilometers per hour ending with a dot, or it is having a word next to it, or ending with a semicolon, or with no space, and all these different combinations. So you will have, but we will have to express all of these things in a singular manner. So we can use this print library, or say, for example, we have these are 4 different sentences where we are trying to express the idea of height, but using different kind of words. Okay, so it will be better that we replace all of these things by the word height, or sometimes we write the units in different ways. So this all requires to be replaced with a singular thing. Uh, see here I take the example of units being expressed in different ways: second, sec, liter, spelling, gallons. Sometimes I say gallons. So uh, another common requirement is that we express sometimes negative numbers like this, or like this, and also we express numbers in different forms, like 10 to the power 3 and things like that. So it is better that we collapse all of these into uh, scientific notation so that there is uniformity. I don't have too many number of tokens in my text, and the computer has ease in analyzing what is my document about. So the thing is that there is some things you cannot do using a library, so you'll have to make a dictionary like this and then utilize it for collapsing. So this is a tedious process. There is no what do you call library which can do everything for you. So at some places we have to use a dictionary and we have to analyze our text and make this dictionary. But in other places we can use programs. So um, let me show you some programs. Like for example, if it is meter or meters, then I can replace it with m. So so I will run this program. It will become very clear. Now, for example, all of these cases, like kilometer per second or seconds, liters, etc., I can convert them back into a single unit. So these are the functions which I have given you. Let me run this program, then you will understand how this works. So let me run it. Okay. See here, I've converted this is very powerful actually. Uh, uh, you see here, this was I can just use this library ureg and I can convert units into units. So you see here, it is not only replacing the word kilometers per hour, meter per second, it is also computing how much is 5 kilometers per hour in terms of meters per second. So that's how the text is getting replaced. Okay, so I've given many examples for you to verify that it actually works. So you can see this here. Then you see that speed at launch. I have used this. So I collapse this into a singular kind of sentence saying initial velocity. Of course, I did it using dictionary, but then I am collapsing everything like elevation is height, distance from ground is height, height is height. And so all of these collapses into a singular kind of expression. So then a very important thing that we do in physics or mathematical softwares, which where I use NLP, is that I replace all different kind of units into its native form. Like if it is a time unit, I'm replacing it as a symbol called time unit. Or if it's a volume unit, I am replacing it with the volume unit. So I have liter, liters, gallons, everything gets replaced with volume unit. So this makes the NLP work much more efficiently because do you notice what is actually the benefit is that if I do this substitution, then my subsequently the data which I will get, this data which I'm getting, the modified set, this is becoming now capable such that I can create NLP systems which are much better. Because if I do the substitutions, my NLP systems will have much more ease in terms of learning. Do you appreciate that fact?
Yes, sir. So it will be useful for searching if there is a volume unit referred or time unit referred also, right?
Yeah. See, the thing is that not only searching is definitely one aspect, but the thing is that, see, the machine in NLP, what the machine, I'm trying to teach the machine my language, right? Now, if I teach him the language in such a manner that he has to learn the least amount, then the machine will have much more ease in terms of learning. So if I have this diverse kind of data and I'm trying to teach him, obviously he will have more difficulty in learning. That is why I'm trying to make the data in such a manner that his learning process can be made much more easier. Do you appreciate that fact?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is a very this library is quite powerful. So you can definitely take a look at it. And of course, the thing is that it is not complete. You will have there are some functions like tens power and minus and units, normalization, etc. But the thing is that you will have to hunt much more. And the thing is, like I'm telling you repeatedly, this is the area where not much research has been done. So there is no much standard libraries available. I will show you one more case where uh, you will have a lot of difficulty and you have to do a lot of research for your projects to make it happen. I will come to that slightly later. Okay, now let's put together all of these things what we have discussed so far into a proper thing. Like I for HTML preprocessing. So I have HTML like this. Now you see I have different kind of stuff like degree centigrade or gallons or liters and meters and all this kind of stuff. And of course the HTML tags are there. So I can use Beautiful Soup and I can use some substitutions like this. I can make this mapping, and after doing that, I can when I run it, you see here this was my original text, this part, and I get this. So when a computer is given this thing to learn as a language, he will have much more ease in terms of learning the language through this, or say this particular case, rather than try to learn this. This fact is become clear, is it not? Yeah. Okay. Okay. There's one more area which I will show you. So far, we have discussed some areas. There's one more area which is there called abbreviation expansion. So in my document, I may use many abbreviations, like I will say UN, or I will say WHO, I'll say COVID. COVID, of course, it is more used than abbreviation itself. Or I may say USA and United States of America and things like that. Now, I could not find any suitable library for this in Python. There's no suitable library available for this in Python. But I found one library in R where it does sort of, not entirely, but it does sort of this activity. So I will show you that in R. I had a cleaner in R, but I'm not finding that. Anyway, this library is called campfin. So I can use it, but the problem with this library is that most of the services are paid services. Very few services are, what do you call, free. So I can show you what this library does. 1 minute. So if I say ls package campfin, so these are all the functions available in this library. So there are very few functions, and most of these functions are paid functions. So I can validate the states, but these states, this is possible in United States as well as outside United States. But for outside United States, you will have to pay. You will have to buy the license version. It is not available freely. So, or it can make the street addresses, or it can make the it can validate city names. It can normalize addresses. All of these things it can do, but most of these are paid. Or pin codes, like zip code function is there, and things like that. So a few things we can see. So I will show you a few things what is possible which is not paid for. So if I give the abbreviation of states, it can give me the expanded forms. So this is some substitution which I may require before I process my text. Or let's say, for example, I give the pin codes, and the pin codes have to be given in a normalized form. So this library can do that. So if I give pin codes in different ways, it can normalize and give me the right stuff. Or for example, telephone numbers. This is another area, another place where I have a lot of different ways in which I write telephone numbers. So I can normalize that. Okay, so you see here, it is able to normalize different forms of telephone numbers. Or the street addresses, it is something also it can do. Now this of course, it works well for United States. I am not able to, I did not buy this. Normally I buy a software very readily, but I do not find much of a requirement for this for my current kind of projects. So I did not buy this software. It is quite expensive. Okay, so I'm not able to test how well it will work on other addresses like Indian addresses and all that, but United States addresses, it works pretty well. That I can see here. Okay. Okay. So the bottom line of text substitution is that the text substitution is an area which is something which is a research area. It is not a very mature area. And more important than that also is the fact that for every project that you undertake, you will have to create your own system, own pipeline for text substitution. It is not something that I can use a pipeline for text substitution in a particular situation and then I will replicate that. It is not possible. So I can create a text substitution process. I can take components of that, but I will have to create my own pipeline for my every new project in which I undertake the data. So I'll have to study the data. and I'll have to make my own strategy as to how I will do sex substitution. So, do you have any questions?
So
So,
we have this record linkage and dedupe type of libraries, right? So these also work in similar lines. What's your comment about them, Partha?
What record?
Some record linkage package someone suggested. Like we were working on that invoice extraction.
Mm,
I used to ask questions also.
mm,
We will read the handwritten copies of the bills.
yeah.
So there, like somebody suggested me to use that record linkage. I am at to implement. So how does it?
What
I mean,
is it going to do? This record linkage system?
something similar to this. Like we can define the words. Like it will look for street for ST. So from that only, I was giving the example in the beginning also.
Oh, no.
Python
If
like
it is address
package.
normalization, then you can try some packages like address normalization. This campfin can work for you. So it could be a similar thing what you're looking at. But yes, in invoice processing, you will have many kind of data which will require substitution. Like for example, what do you call address normalization is definitely one area. Then unit normalization, you will require to do because the units may be different in
So
different
these are
environments.
available in R, right?
Yeah, this package
Okay.
is available in R. This is not
Okay.
available in Python.
Okay.
I searched lots, but in Python I could not get anything for abbreviation substitution.
Okay.
But this is also not really serving my purpose because I do not want to do United States and states and things like that. What I actually want is things like what do you call for example, if I have a corpus which I'm taking from Twitter, okay, and I will write many things like or a email system. So I will write many times ASAP. I do not want ASAP. I want as soon as possible. That substitution must happen, right? Or nowadays, a lot of people when they write SMS, they write a lot of small stuff like LOL, for example, and things like that. Now these makes unnecessary heavy tokens, so I should replace them with the actual word what it is all about. So I'm still looking. I could not find a library which can do that, but right now the only mechanism which is available with me is that I write my own dictionary, something. 1 minute. Some some dictionary like this. I write. So here I will write LOL and I will say whatever that I don't even know what LOL means actually. So whatever that expansion is, I will write that and I will do the mapping. Then I will run the entire text on that mapping and I will show the output. Okay. So I will not show the output. I will replace my text with that mapping. So then I can normalize my text. Does it make sense?
Yes, Partha.
Yeah, there was somebody else who was asking a question.
Yeah, hello Partha. This is Shivkant. I'm a little novice in AML.
Uh,
Uh, I'm connected to you on LinkedIn. Just saw your little late, but yeah, I saw it and I joined.
yeah,
So I just wanted to understand this use case
yeah.
using OpenSearch
Uh,
with OpenSearch ML.
uh,
And like you said, every learning system will depend on a NLP because eventually it will interact with a human.
mm.
So, what is your opinion about using the NLP system as Scikit-learn or Hugging Face or SageMaker, or which one do you think is the best to go with OpenSearch?
See, OpenSearch, right now, I do not, I have experimented quite a bit with Hugging Face.
Hugging
Now,
Face.
Hugging Face, the reason why 1 minute, I will show you my Hugging Face account. Right now, you see it's empty right now, but I do a lot of work on Hugging Face. Now, why I use Hugging Face is simply because, first of all, it has a lot of data sets. Okay, Hugging Face has a lot of data sets which I can utilize readily for my experiments. So I don't have to go around searching for data. That is number one. Second thing is that apart from data set, there are a lot of models which are readily available. Now, these models are made by experts and these are regularly updated uh, by them. So, especially for especially when it comes to LLM related work, uh, there are a lot of libraries which I can utilize readily, and these are all I don't have to pay for them. Right? These are all open source. So, that is number two. And third thing is that, see, the thing is, hosting your system on Hugging Face is not free. And that is why I have removed. I had a number of systems which I had tested here, but I removed all of them simply because hosting is not free. So though the amount is very little, but I have to pay something uh, to host my systems on Hugging Face. So I do my experiments, I pay for that period of time, and then I remove it. Um, right now, I'm not in a, I'm not feeling like, what do you call, making those systems public, because I'm waiting for some maturity of my company before I make those things public and try to monetize them. So, does it answer your question, Shivkant? In terms
Yes,
of,
yes, Partha. It does. But as a follow-up question, I just wanted to understand the kind of compatibility, right? Like OpenSearch comes out of box compatibility with the OpenSearch ML, which in turn is compatible with Hugging Face. But if the same thing, if you take a look at scikit-learn or TensorFlow,
Hmm.
then you will have to build your Python around integrating these things, right?
Yes, you have to do that. See, the thing
Okay.
is, see, from a ML engineering point of view, see, the thing is, the simplest we engineers utilize is Keras, because Keras makes things very simple. Okay, it has built in the functionality in the library so that we have least amount of work to do in terms of making models with that. It can be related to anything. It can be related to normal NLP systems, or it can be related to any other systems. Keras is quite simple. Uh, if you but Kera simplicity means that there are a lot of features not available with you as well. So when you really want those features, like you will find it. You try to make a CNN or a RNN, you'll make the model very quickly using Keras, but you will not be able to implement many kind of things which you may want to experiment with. So if that is the situation you're facing, then you go to TensorFlow. TensorFlow Basically, TensorFlow was originally made by Google, and then TensorFlow was simplified into Keras. Okay, and so Keras is very popular. It is good for students like situation, but if you really want to do some serious scientific experimentation, you need to do TensorFlow. But TensorFlow is very difficult in many circumstances, because there are a lot of internals which you require to know to be able to use TensorFlow. So a slight compromise where I have the power, as well as I don't have to do so much amount of what do you call technical what do you call knowledge. I can use PyTorch. PyTorch is by Facebook. So this one is a reasonable compromise, because this gives me most of the power what I require, and I don't have to be, but it is not as difficult as TensorFlow, and though it is much more difficult as compared to Keras. So these are three platforms which I have utilized. I of course have done some work on Hugging Face transformers, etc. These are the thing is, these require some internal knowledge. It is not that you will have to you will get everything ready made. And though documentation, everything is there, but what you call software programmers, they are a little lazy in terms of documentation. So documentations are not always very efficient. So this is what you could try. I have not tried other options, so I cannot comment. But these are three platforms which I work extensively from for most of my work.
Yeah, thank you, Partha. Thank you for your time and explanation. Yeah, it was good.
Okay. Is there anything else? Did you find today's session at least some information you got from this?
Yes,
Yes,
Partha.
Partha.
It is very insightful. It kind of opened me up with few ideas. I'm into uh, product development,
Yeah,
and this session gave me a lot of ideas, which I thinking of exploring in time.
good. Yeah, that is the whole idea. We should give you some thought process and progress your work. I chose this topic because this is a topic which is not very well explored, and yeah, like you will have noticed from our discussion, this subject requires a lot of R&D because this is a very nascent subject, but it is very essential. We go ahead and make NLP systems. You think about yourself. If you're made in NLP systems, have you ever even thought about these requirements while making the systems? So that is something you can think about. But if you try to incorporate these things, then it will make your life much more better. It will make your systems much more better. So I will do one thing. I will share the notebook like I told you, so that you can further experiment with your computer. So, yeah, text substitution. So I prepared this notebook for you guys. So it contains the complete discussion what we did today. So I hope you will find it useful. Okay, do we have any more questions? See, I'm using LinkedIn for announcing the events, though I'm hosting them on Zoom. Now this makes it a little difficult, basically because many Zoom features are not available with me when I'm hosting the session with you. For example, I'm not able to expand the screen simply because if I do that, my annotation feature will not work. Then there are a lot of things which I cannot do because of this mechanism of hosting the sessions. So, but anyway, till I find a different way, I will have to do it this way only. Do we have any more questions? Anyway, I thank you all for joining in, and this is very encouraging that you are finding utility in these sessions which I am trying to organize. The purpose is that, what do you call, if I can give you some ideas, then it'll make my day, and the fact that you're able to devote some time to this, I'm really very grateful for that. So I will keep hosting these sessions in the future also. Now I'm starting a new thing called what do you call, again, this is I just for the branding, but just for a namesake, I called it p-Pathshala, but there's no aim at branding or commercializing it. But in that, I will be discussing specific research problems every month, and it will not be possible to do those problems in one session. So I thought I will organize it over a month. So 4 or 5 Sundays in a month, we will discuss one research topic. For example, in the next week, starting in July, the topic is for finding semantic similarities between clinical trials. So we will discuss that research topic. This is if you, especially if you are in medical field, you will find that this research is quite useful and very important. It can save millions and millions of dollars of money in healthcare practices. So if you guys are interested, please do join in those sessions, and I'll be more than happy to share whatever I am able to achieve through my research. with all of you. Okay.
Thank you so much for your time and efforts, Partha. Really appreciate it. It's been very helpful and really inspiring one for us to keep learning. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank
then.
you, Partha.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.